Testing, testing. Okay, perfect. Good morning, everybody. 7th May here today, and NFP day today. Hopefully, everyone's ready. Hopefully, no one's in any big trades right now, because I mean, if you're in a big trade right now, especially, let's say if you're in a gold sell from down over here or whatever you're in a sell from, man, I don't think it's going to be a good day because we got NFP coming up and we're not really sure how this is going to move. All right, let's take a look over here. So we got Gulag coming in here as well. Gold is sitting at 1820. Our target is at 1825, so we're not sure how we're going to move up or what's going to happen, because this zone is something we drew yesterday in the Asian session. We broke above this area, did a little bit of a retest, and now we're coming up towards this resistance here. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to make this zone a little bit more thinner. So for that, we'll go all the way to the left hand side, kind of like zoom in over here, and let's make this appropriate to current price action. Maybe bring it right over here. So this is what we may be targeting, 1826, around 1825. Let's go back. Perfect. All right, let's see here. So let's take a look at pound yen here as well. Pound yen is also approaching a resistance area here. I think what's going to be is mostly it's just going to be this today is not going to be like analysis. Like, we're not going to focus on executing any trades. I mean, if you do get a scalp trade, we may look into that, but for the most part, this is only to see how NFP is going to affect gold here, because I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. Because yesterday we did not, I mean, we did move up. So now the question is, will we retrace the correction to like 1813, 1812, or are we going to continue moving up towards 1826? Does NFP affect GJ? Somewhat, not a lot, but somewhat. You know, I think mostly it affects GJ. I mean, it depends how big the change is in the US dollar, because that change is gonna affect yen, and that may affect GJ. But for the most part, I've only seen spreads go up a little bit. You know, nothing really that you could say, oh, yeah, you know what, it affects it a lot. So that's what I've seen, just like a little bit over here. So we're creating these resistances on the 30-minute time frame here on pound yen. We'll see what happens here. Looking for gold to come down to retest 1796. 1796 is far, far away. I don't think it's going to come down to retest 1796. Not today. I mean, who knows? But seriously, I don't know. Not today. Currently, we are very, very bullish. Looking on the daily time frame, if you look to the left hand side, there's so much bullish volume here. Oh, if you look at the bullish volume, you got a wick to fill at around 1826, and if you drop down to the 4-hour time frame, let me show you here to the left hand side, right? So currently price is in this range on the 4-hour between 1817 and 1826. So this is the range we're in at this point. So I mean, if we're in this range and we're moving bullish, there's a very high probability we could tap into 1825, 1826. What are you trading today? Probably I'm gonna stay away today. I might do buy stops or sell stops for NFP, but other than that, I'm just gonna chill today. It's a Friday, you know, so on Friday it's mostly just gotta reflect on how the week went here. So let me put this announcement right here. For NFP, let's see here. Perfect. There you go. I think this is very important here. Wait for NFP. Don't overtrade or over risk, because like, most of the losses come on Friday. Because sometimes like, if you've had losses during the week, we want to make those losses back. Or sometimes like, we're in drawdowns. We want to be out of those drawdowns, and Fridays are not the right days for that. Just finished my 100K challenge. I'm officially an FTMO trader. Any tips for me? Nice. Already trading on a 10K account, but managed to get a good profit. Never blew account also. Nice. I would say just, just focus on 1 or 2 trades a day. That's it. Focus on 1 or 2 trades, and I mean, it's all going to be okay at that point. Because discipline comes a lot with that too, right? Because like, yeah, discipline comes a lot with that. All right, let's take a look at Forex Factory here. You took 4 trades yesterday. Is that allowed in your rules? Yes. With experience, it's allowed, I would say. All right, so what's going on over here? 1015 MPC, broadbent speaking. Let's take a look here. Voting membership. Oh, they might say something what happened yesterday. So we'll see what type of volatility comes in. What do you think gold will go above 1850? I'm not sure about 1850, but I do know if we break above 1821, 22, there's a very high probability for gold to first fill this wick 23 and then on its way towards 1825. I think that is very, very doable here with gold. What rules do you usually have? Have you written it down or just in your mind? Right now, all my rules are in my mind, like, because the most important fact is that I can basically control myself, So if you have a loss, you call it a day. You have 2 losses, you call it a day. So those kind of things you try to understand once you, try to get consistent. You try to see where your losses are, what could you have done better and stuff like that. Looking at it from sales perspective, I think we have a minor support forming right here, 1820, but if you measure the range from 1820 till the next support, it's like 12 pips away. So I don't think that's enough of a range, but then if you look at this support at the bottom, let's make this a little bit more clear here. If you look at this support right over here, this is an even better support at 1817, because if we break below 1817, then you have the opportunity for price to continue down towards maybe 1815, 1814, you can talk about that. But the gentleman who talked about 1796, I think that's very far away. That's trying to call a unicorn back on the ground. I don't think that's going to happen. Not today, obviously. Who would you rather fight, Floyd Mayweather or Floyd Mayweather without a hat? Oh, I wouldn't fight anybody. I wouldn't fight. With the measure, how can you tell the exact number of pips if that makes sense? How can you measure the exact number of pips? Well, you just gotta divide the price, right? The best way to measure pips, okay, let's say if you want to measure pips from this zone to this zone, right? So you're gonna get the price right here, 151.976. So you're gonna write 151.976. I can't believe I'm about to do this. And then you want price to go to 152.100, right? 152.100. And you do simple mathematics here, my friend. You do the subtraction. The answer you're gonna get is gonna be the amount of pips it is right over here. So if you measure these pips here, this is gonna be 7.976 all the way up to 152.100, around like 12.4 pips, 12.4 pips. So let's do this over here. Calculator online. 976 minus 152.100. There we go. 124 times 10, 12.4. So simple mathematics. When go back to blacklist? I'm from Fiji. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Blacklist. No one's blacklisted. Yeah, we're just ranging here. It looks like pound yen is about to break out of this area here. So this is 12.4 pips. I don't think it's enough range. 12.14 minus spread 12. Yeah, I don't think it's enough range here. I'm gonna stay out of it. I don't think it looks much better. I think a better buy is going to be about 152.200, which is something I've been waiting for the last 3 days for price to break above, but it hasn't. So 152, 200 is something I'm waiting for here. Potential solid buys. 152, 200. Yep, this is a very important area right here. What was the time to trade on the Asian session? What was the time to trade on the Asian session? So I'm going to give you a quick answer right over here. If you go to this link, there's this best time to trade. And I'm going to post this link in the chat so you can take a look at this. Post it in the gulag here as well. Best times to trade for the Asian session. You got the London session, you got the New York session. So, you know, these are the best times to trade, especially when there's a lot of volume in the market. Those are the best times to see when there's volume in the market. What do you mean solid? Solid means really, really good buys. Because if price breaks above, let's say 152 right here, you look to the left hand side, you have a lot of like, you know, rejections at this point. So it gets kind of tricky to know whether price is going to move past this area or will it kind of like reject this area to come down. We just don't know that. NFP, they're looking at good numbers. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens because let's look at the unemployment yesterday was good. Not so good, but it was good. You know, looking at ADP, we had bad numbers, so we're not sure how NFP is going to be like. Either way, I do think gold is extremely, extremely bullish unless we break below 1817. Make me a mod in the gulag. Okay. Capital hungry. All right. When you lose a trade and check your trading plan and risk management, there isn't a reason for your loss. That trade, how act with these trades? You say it is what it is. No, sometimes, you know, when you lose a trade and you can't find a reason why you lost the trade, then mostly when everything lines up perfectly and the trade doesn't go your way, then that's just the probability of it not working out. Like, you know, and at that point you could say, okay, you know what, I tried, everything was on my side, and it is what it is at that point. Let's take a look on the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frames are also very, very bullish. We created a support. So yeah, we'll have to wait to see if we break above 1822 or do we break below 1817. How big is this range? This is a 26, 27 pip range. You know, it's not enough range. So this is going to be a no trading range. Not for everybody, no trading range for me. So I'm going to put this as a no trading range at this point. Let's take a look at USD/JPY. Are you a JUT? No, I'm not a JUT. What type of question is that? All right. Oh, wow. USD/JPY is ranging here. This is a perfect, perfect range. Look at this. And when something's ranging, you got to ask why, right? And the reason what we're going to get over here is because we have high volume news coming up, and that's going to decide whether USD/JPY is going to come up towards 109, 300, 350, or we're going to continue down towards 108, 900s, and these areas right here. Perfect. And if you measure this range, how big is this range? It's probably like 13 pips. It's pretty small. So we'll have to see what happens. Let's take a look at this chart here. Your JPY, my target for sells. This support should be a target for sells, correct? Yes, should be a target for sells. But at the same time, you may want to keep this area in mind as well as price comes down, because there may be some sort of a rejection here. So you may want to keep this in mind as well. And then obviously, buys above 131, 917, 920 makes sense. Dominion Markets demo account has 5 pip spread. Yes, the standard account has 5 pip spread. So you have the option to open a pro account as well. That has the normal spread. Can we do a GA breakdown? GA breakdown. OMW. On my way. Don't worry. Let's do this. GA. Starting from the weekly time frame. Holy, look at these wicks over here on GA. Crazy. crazy consolidation on GA. Daily candle, previous daily candle closed with no wick at the bottom means little to no range here. This is like retracing, so we're not sure whether this will continue moving down or will it stay within this vicinity over here. So looking on the 4-hour, the first thing we can identify on the 4-hour is that we created a low, right? Very simple. We created a low. Seems like we broke below this support right here in GA. And it also seems like we made a low, came up, sort of like did a retest, and then trying to continue back down here. So let's take a look on the 1-hour time frame. So looking on the 1-hour time frame, right now the candle's coming down. So if it's coming down, we got to identify where's the next level of support, which is at 1.7835. And now we want to measure this, how far this is. It's like 12 pips away. So is this enough to trade here? I don't think so, you know, like it's only 12 pips away. But if you do break below this support, where's our next target? I think the next target is easily around 25, 26 pips away down over here. So yeah, I think that would make sense if we try to wait for the break below this support 1.78820 for price to continue down towards 1.8550-ish. You know, or if we create some sort of a, yeah, you know, yeah, it's just ranging at this point. So we'll have to wait for the break below this area for sells. Special guest in the audience here today. Audience.
Hello, hello.
Gabriel Hungry in the audience. Like,
hey, how's it going?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm good.
How's the London session?
It's pretty dry, yo, because you know what I mean. It's end of the week and NFP, so a lot of the U.S. dollar investors are on the sidelines waiting for the NFP sentiment.
Yeah, it's pretty dead right now too. Let's take a look.
Were you talking about NFP and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Honestly, NFPs, ever since the pandemic, haven't had too much of an impact, just because a lot of the jobs data has been priced in, and ever since the feds have started flooding the economy and giving that support, it's just been showing that jobs are constantly rebounding, which brings continued market optimism. Just the key, when we're looking at gold, one of the key driving factors, especially for gold in the US dollar during this market environment, I guess you can say, with the pandemic, is just what the feds are doing, right? So as long as the feds aren't increasing interest rates and they're still saying that there's room for fiscal support and stimulus, which means that they're still increasing the amount of US dollars in the economy, that means that inflation is increasing, and the higher inflation is a fundamental bullish confluence for gold, right? And at the same time, how you confirm this is 3 ways, and I'll show, and this is really easy to do, okay? When the feds are continuing to print more US dollars and flood the economy and support the stock markets, you're going to notice that the US dollar itself, when you look at the dollar index, is weaker and overall in very bearish market structure. Like if you pull up the dollar index chart, DXY symbol.
Hold on here.
Right?
DXY.
So anyway, so if anybody who's watching, if you have your charts up and you pull up the dollar index chart overall, and you look at the structure on like the daily or the 4-hour and you zoom out.
Yeah, we got it right here.
Yeah, so you're going to notice that it's been bearish ever since March 2020, and that's when the Fed started to flood the markets and increase the amount of US dollars at exponential levels. And what that does is decrease the value of the US dollar, right? So you have a higher supply and a lower demand, and where all those US dollars are going are into the stock markets and into the economy to help rebound everything, right? So how you confirm this on the flip side is if you go to US 30 is going to be the inverse, because all those US dollars being printed out are going into the stock market by the feds, right?
Let's see here, US 30.
Yeah.
Go towards daily.
US 30, ever since the pandemic crash, has gone back above record, has gone back into all-time highs, back above pandemic prices, right? So the dollar has been extremely bearish and the stock market has been extremely bullish. And this is all due to what the Federal Reserve is doing. Nothing else matters. Everything else is just little blips here and there with these economic data reports or little headlines about vaccines or this or that. It's really just all being run by the feds, right? So what this does for an impact on gold and why gold is still bullish is we trade gold against the US dollar. So when the US dollar by itself is more bearish, gold still has bullish confluences, but at the same time, a fundamental bullish confluence for gold is higher inflation. Whenever inflation is increasing in the economies and in the markets, investors pull more money into gold, right? Because it's to start putting it into a potential safe haven because they're already forecasting the potential downside impacts of hyperinflation. Because at the end of the day, that massive increase in US dollar printing and supply does have a consequence, which is an increase in inflation. And the feds can say what they want, that inflation is still not, inflation is still manageable. But everybody's already noticing, like if you could go to Google and search up a US money supply chart.
Yeah, so at the same time, let me ask you this, right? So if there were less jobs, right? If there were less jobs, would the inflation rate be much higher than what it is right now?
If there were less jobs,
Less jobs. Like if the money was created just by the feds and not by people working.
well, the money's always created by the feds, then put into the economy, right? But
US.
it's just been given to, like, especially with all of the stimulus given. It's so the feds, when they increase the US money supply and increase the printing, right? Go to
Yeah, this one right here. They stopped this chart in February because it was
but it went to exponential levels, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, so the feds are the one who create the money. When they increased the US money supply, they injected the money in multiple ways to help support it. One, through the what we saw as the stimulus that was given to people who lost their jobs and small businesses and all of that. And then other through buying government bonds to give the governments and political parties and down the line more money to spend for what they needed, and then buying stock market ETFs and supporting the stock market and corporations involved in the market, because you can't let the stock market actually crash and go to zero, because the whole entire fucking infrastructure of everything would go under, right? All the corporations involved within the stock market, if you let the value of the stock market actually go to zero, everything that's when the entire US economy would enter a depression, right? When the value of everything would go to zero. But they wouldn't allow that. We already saw that on March 2020 when everything crashed and the US stock market went to 18K. What the Federal Reserve did is hit a circuit breaker. Once Dow Jones hit a significant price point, S&P, NASDAQ, they literally triggered a circuit breaker, stopping any more short selling in the stock markets. And after that is when they heavily increased the amount of US dollar money supply. And what they did is bought up all of those stocks from those record lows and then started flooding the market right back up to all-time highs.
Yeah, we can see that right here.
So they made a shit ton of money with what they did in that transaction, but the cost of this is a massive increase in inflation. And you can also see another cost of this that they're willing to sacrifice is devaluing the US dollar in the short term. Because the supply of the US dollar is increasing, the demand of it is decreasing, because in these conditions, nobody wants to buy the dollar or hold the dollar right now. They want to take their cash and money and put it in the stock markets. You know what I mean? They want to ride the wave in the stock markets. They want to make the money with the feds. They want to ride the wave with what the feds are supporting right now, and the economic rebound and the vaccine talks.
So
and all the crypto. Yeah.
Yeah, so at the same time, so now we see, like, from March 2020, where the US 30 really fell here, and like, when it fell, we know, like, people lost RSPs and they lost their funds and stuff. The way it recovered, those funds never recovered the way US 30 went back above all-time highs.
Yeah, it depends. It depends if they had to back out, because a lot of people in those situations in the middle class, they panic and they end up cashing out of the market and getting out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
So
true.
yeah, that's always what happens during these crisis or economic crash is the middle class and the working class people always get stomped on and they always get reset, but the rich get richer during these times of crisis. But what I want to talk about, all of that with the increase in US money supply and the dollar being a lot weaker, is the impact on gold. Is if you go to gold on the daily chart, one of the reasons it's so bullish still on the higher time frames is because investors are still pooling money into gold as a safe haven precious metal, hedging against the increase in inflation, right? So that's just like, you could study that stuff too.
Okay, Jeevan, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, what happens if the Fed stop printing money at that point? So, would the economy crash, or would they just take their money out of the stock market?
No, the economy wouldn't crash because when they put that money into the markets, or when they put that money into the economies, it's not like they're just putting it there. They're doing it through transactions of like purchasing ETFs to put into the stock market, or purchasing government bonds to give money to the governments, or corporate bonds, etc. Quantitative easing, and the money goes into the economy and goes back into people's pockets, and then it just starts circulating back in the economy through jobs, employment, consumerism, purchasing of goods, selling of goods, paying of taxes, etc., etc. It's like lending through banks, because at the end of the day, the increase in money supply decreases the value of the dollar, but at the end of the day, money just goes from hand to hand. There's always a set amount of dollar from the feds that's in the US economy or circulating, that they are tracking around the globe, that is just constantly circulating through transactions, right? So it's not like there's the money disappears. The central bank just creates it. It's out of thin air in reality.
Man, I'm reading some comments here, and this guy just overwhelmed the fuck out of the gulag. Gulag is a what? For people wondering, this is his YouTube right here, Capital Hungry. Jeevan is one of the most smartest people I know when it comes towards, trading and uh, fundamentals and stuff like that. So I'm gonna post this link here in the gulag for everybody, so you guys can go here and subscribe. He has a lot of videos here too. A
Yeah,
lot of stuff.
you can learn a lot for free. You know what I mean? You just scroll down there. So, but yeah, it's up to people if they want to learn that stuff. At the end of the day, when you have these crises that repeat in history, because history always repeats, economic and market cycles repeat, when you understand that fundamentally and you combine it with the technicals, as you gain more wisdom and experience in the markets, you can take advantage of this, because in the future, if it's not a pandemic, it's going to be some type of cold war, or some type of trade war, some type of real war, or some type of economic catalyst that's going to bring these same type of conditions you could take advantage of. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So let me ask you this question, if you don't mind. What do you think? Like, how are we gonna ended up this situation? Like, it's just like another big recession, another big economic crisis, or
Oh, sorry. What was that?
how are you gonna ended up this situation? Just it will happen like another big economic crisis for the world, like all over the world.
There's multiple things that could happen now, because there's a lot of new things that we have in our current markets that we didn't have like 20 years ago, that were prominent, such as the crypto markets that entered in the last decade, which has billions and billions of dollars in liquidity now in some of these main coins, right? And are really coming to the mainstream with central banks getting involved. Like, if you guys didn't hear, the central banks and the mainstream banks are creating an index around Bitcoin, right? Just like the S&P or Dow Jones, they're gonna make a mainstream index around Bitcoin and around main crypto coins as well. So there's a lot of ways for the feds to hide this inflation with how they're stocking up on crypto and how they're stocking up on gold and these other things as well. But at the end of the day, if they keep printing out and increasing the money supply, then hyperinflation is inevitable, right? So hyperinflation does lead to a massive increase in the cost of goods that the people in that society where the increase in cost of goods is affecting, they can't afford it. And then you end up having a decrease in jobs, a decrease in employment, an increase in poverty. And that is a real recession to a potential depression and an economic reset where we've seen happen to countries across the world through history many times, right? So
Yeah, I think that it also happened because there were no jobs. Like no one was working at the same time too. I think that's what they're kind of like they don't want to happen. That's why they've opened up the economies so fast. I mean, in Canada, if you look at right now, and I think in Canada it's going to happen, that hyperinflation stuff, because no one's working at this time. You know, we're all locked down. But in the US, we're all still open at this time. You know? But
Hey, do you want? I think it's not only the Fed; it's everyone, and every country in the world is doing the same thing, and it's a race to the bottom. And they're all printing, and the effect of the printing is, your cost of living.
yeah, it's the central banks, yeah, obviously. But we're talking about the U.S. economy and U.S. dollar, right?
And,
so
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So obviously, all these central banks are doing the same thing to their respective economies around the world. If you pull up on Google and go to stock markets around the world, right? You're gonna see every single region on the chart follow the exact same technical pattern and recovery, because all central banks, ECB, Bank of Japan, Bank of Canada, Bank of England, Reserve Bank of Australia, Reserve Bank of New Zealand did the exact same thing during the crash, right? They did the same thing with the increase in printing. But I was just talking about with gold and talking about with the US stock market, US 30, as well as the dollar impact, to give people the real example of what exactly the Federal Reserve is doing and the impact to the US economy. But of course, all the central banks are doing the same thing, right? They're doing the same. So it's the same thing going on in each country, but we're just talking about gold and the US dollar as well as US 30 in the situation.
What about the other community? Like, for example, cotton, sugar, copper, like all of them is whole-time high right now.
Yeah. That's the impact of inflation.
Exactly. Like,
yeah.
So they just trying to save the day, and then they will say, all right, you know what? Like, we're gonna save the day, and then we will think later on.
Yeah, that's how it always goes. Correct.
Well,
but you have to understand, through that it's the people who suffer. The rich take advantage of these crises because they have the resources and capital.
They just make more rich.
Exactly. So for them, they love these cycles, right? When these cycles repeat, they just increase their generational wealth.
Yeah, like as a result, also like they just the between of the gap, like the poor or middle class to rich people, like it's just gap is bigger and bigger every day, every time. So
yeah, that's correct.
I think it's just that will make more sense to me right now.
I suggest everybody in the chat as well as the Gulag watch this documentary on YouTube. It's an hour and a half long on the weekend, called The Princes of the Yen. And it's about the Bank of Japan and what they did after the post-war Japan era, the 1940s. And it's based on an economist book, and there's tons of information in there about the entire central banking system. And at the end of the day, everything stems down from the central banking system. They're the ones who create the money, and then they're the ones who dictate down the line who gets the money as well. Meaning, within the big majority of corporations, right? Like such as you have your media, you have your big pharma, your food, your education system, as well as your technology sector. Across all of those, the central bank is the one who dictates through the government of who gets funding, who gets allocated credit and gets to operate within that economy structure under their control at the end of the day, right? So once you understand how the central banking system works and how money goes down the line and how this has constantly been repeating through history, you can take advantage of these repetitions through these market cycles, right? So it's Princes of the Yen, about the Bank of Japan, and it is about Japan, yeah.
There's some comments here in the gulag over here. Let's see here. I have a problem. Oh no. Let's see here. What's this? Princess of the Yen, the true documentary channel. Oh. Reads how post-war Japanese society was transformed to suit the agenda of the powerful interest groups, and now citizens were kept entirely in the dark about it. History is now repeating around the world. Yeah, man, it's scary. All I know, I don't know much about it. I don't know much about, like, you know, how it's changing the overall fundamentals. But what I do know is this is a great transfer of power happening right now, and I think the times we're moving into, this is extraordinary what's happening, you know, and it's happening in front of us, everything. And I mean, the only thing I can say at this point is, I think if, like, from a monetary perspective and from a personal, from a personal well-being perspective, I tell everybody to at least start something online, because what I read was we're going through a fourth industrial revolution where technology is slowly taking over. You have AIs coming in. So if you're not doing anything online, anything that you do physically in person, is sooner or later it's going to get obsolete. There's going to be no more demand for that. You're going to have computers, you're going to have AIs. Like, most of the things have already happened like that. And I think it's absolutely necessary for all of us to at least start something online, start like a small online business, because that's all what's going to be here in the future now. The Great Reset is coming. Yes, that's also coming very soon.
Okay, Jeevan, I got another question. So obviously I don't understand anything in like basically in economics and all that, but I know for sure you do because you work in a bank, like you said before. So my question is, if the banks keep printing and inflation keeps going up, right? So what would you do to bring inflation back down to its to normal? So let's say if milk goes up to $10 for a liter, how would you bring it back down to go back to the same price, which is $5?
Well, first, usually this comes from an economic reset when you have hyperinflation increase to the point where people can't even afford anything anymore, and then through the people's taxes and what they have paid, the banks usually get bailed out and their debt is to the back to the central banks. But the central banks, they use the same monetary tools that they use to increase the money supply and support the economy to do the opposite as well, which is increasing the interest rates again, right? So think about it this way: when the Federal Reserve or any central bank cuts interest rates, it's usually in a time of economic uncertainty or crisis, or when economies are struggling, as a means of support for the economies to increase the probability of borrowing, lending of money from banks to banks and down the line to consumers, right? And they do the reverse when they're going to get that money back and trying to balance out inflation, is when they increase interest rates. So it'd just be the inverse of the monetary tools that they already use, right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
But at the end of the day, the whole purpose of that is they want that hyperinflation to increase, and they want these types of crises to happen, because it constantly puts a foot on the middle class and the poor, and it takes that wealth, like Raja said, and it's a constant transfer of wealth that we've seen repeat in history, where the rich get richer, right? So
yeah, I follow what you're saying. Okay, for example, let's say some countries that don't have tax. So some countries don't have tax at all, like no car taxes, like no
no tax at all.
Yes.
I think I don't know.
Like most of the African countries that don't have tax. That's my question. So
I know, but they don't really have much of an infrastructure or anything else either. Like
Yeah.
they're not like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of those lands are already owned by China and owned by other countries in reality. So like they're like, so to be like, you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
doesn't have,
I see
yeah.
what you're saying.
They have taxes, just as that the infrastructure to collect them is extremely poor. The import taxes are normally horrendous in those countries.
Yeah, they have the import tax. That's the only one that I know of. But wages and all that, they don't.
Yeah, so Jeevan, let me ask you this. So, since like we have a lot of new people coming into the stream here as well, and I think the biggest question they have is how did you know all this information? Like, how did you get into this fundamental arena of trading? Like, what happened?
Well, at the end of the day, it is the real world. At the end of the day, it's just the fascination, I guess, with money and wanting to know where money comes from, and that first led me on the path to understanding about central banking and the financial system, right? And everything is connected to the financial markets. But to learn, I guess, as much as I did, it's just, I guess, the best advice I could give you is study market history. Right, the more you study the market history in various countries or crisis or events that have happened, elections, Brexit, trade wars, different wars through history and their impact on the markets, the more you're going to understand when these events repeat coming in the future, which it always happens, right? But the best advice I can give is at least studying some basic macroeconomics and finance, and then what you can do for free on the internet, right? You can do anything on the internet, and then studying market history and because technicals, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's very easy to learn technicals about reading price action, mapping out market structure. But when you combine everything together, it can really paint a more clear picture of what's going on in the markets and in the world, right? So, yeah, there's a bunch of I got a bunch of scalping webinars, psychology webinars, higher time frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
So
people who
different
don't know, Jeevan also does London session streams every Tuesday and Thursday, which are really, really informative.
Yeah, I'm starting again next week. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Safe sells in this area until we break below the previous level.
Ornita's about to start a fire.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, first I heard about Jeevan was like he was this guy, he was trading 10-cent lots and doing all these fundamentals and stuff. I'm like, what is this? This is interesting, but I have no idea what this is. So I guess at the same time, like, just as you said, like, it was just fascination of what's moving the money. Like, at times, guys are fascinated about, like, what's moving price on charts, candles, wicks and something. He's the kind of guy who was just, from what I know now, just fascinated about, what moves money, who controls money, inflation, how does that affect things. So, so whatever you're passionate about, you're going to go after that. And sooner or later, you're going to understand that, okay, like, what, this is really what my forte is. This is really something that really moves you or excites you every day in the markets. So it's not about learning everything. It's about knowing what your true passion is when you're looking at the markets. What's this here? I have a question for Jeev because the countries he mentioned, what's this, have been heavily printing are G10 countries that are heavily dependent on the US. Do you think the result of US heavily printing money is because of the Feds are privately owned by the banks? I think it's the other way around. I think the banks are privately owned by the Feds.
Yeah, the Fed is the main one. That's the independent party, and to pretty much summarize it, the Federal Reserve owns the US. They own pretty much the majority of the debt of the US, which is trillions of dollars. So they're the ones who create the money and supply the money down the line to the commercial banks, to the corporations, and to the governments. So they're and we don't know, they can do whatever they want at the end of the day.
What about IMF? That's not the Feds, right?
International Monetary Fund is pretty much like a bridge between all of the central banks, but they all work hand in hand at the end of the day. That's what I think. That's what I think as well, Jonathan. But at the end of the day, you can't prove that still. You know what I mean? But I agree with your theory.
Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask because I thought because I did some research a while ago, and the Feds were founded by Rothschild Bank in England and 7 other U.S.
The
families.
Rothschild families and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
The Bilderberger groups and stuff like that. I think.
And the shit that they pulled with the
On the
Napoleon
Titan-
War.
I think on the Titanic too and stuff. Yeah.
But my biggest question is that because when I did some research on the Feds, that they were founded by Rothschild and several other U.S. families, which also included J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs. So every single time that when the Feds printed money was when, like as you said, that the rich gets richer.
Yeah.
So it is a possibility that when the Feds are printing money, it's because the big banks needed money, so that they told the Feds that it's time to start printing money.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand. The Feds tell the banks like they already work hand in hand, right? Like if you guys watch that documentary I suggested, it'll really break down the entire structure right down the line for you.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. If he's ever taken advantage of the crisis and how much he earned from it, please. I think that's it. That's irrelevant to know how much has someone earned from a particular crisis, or I don't know. That's one.
It got me. It got us in the top percentiles in our country. So.
Yeah, I would say so. Are we now going on to the conspiracy theory section of the show? Yes. I think every conspiracy that we thought is just a conspiracy is just the truth now. Slowly, like everything that's happening is becoming the truth.
This is all economics, yeah. None of this is conspiracy.
At this point, it's all coming true. Like the New World Order theory is coming true soon. 2030 agenda is coming true soon. I mean, it's in the books now.
If you think a central bank is a conspiracy, then that's weird.
The Titanic, everyone who opposed the Fed and died on the Titanic, that sounds like a conspiracy theory to me.
Yeah, that's what we were. Yeah, we were saying that is. That's what I was. That's what Jonathan. That's what I was saying. Like, it's a conspiracy. That one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning because I had just read that comment.
All right, let's see what's happening over here. We're still ranging here. Gold's still ranging, waiting for NFP. We got NFP in what? An hour? Almost an hour and 10 minutes. Is it true that strategies can eventually stop working? You know what I think about strategies? I think the market is obviously moved by the fundamentals and stuff like that. But I think at the most part, the market is moved by how we humans perceive where price is and what price is doing. And I really believe, I really believe that the reason why the market prints the same patterns over and over again, because the 90% people who lose, they make the same mistakes over and over again. So I think it's going to be extremely hard to kind of change the way the market moves. I mean, eventually the market is going to go to prices who the top side or downside, but the way it's going to go there, those patterns are going to keep on repeating themselves. Because if you look at it this way, from history, us humans, we've been intrigued by speculation, right? We've been intrigued by, okay, what's going to happen? Let's bet on this thing happening, or let's bet on that thing happening. And those personalities are those, for lack of better term, those habits, they don't change. They've been the same all the time. If you look at guys right now, you have over trading, over risking, selling when price is moving up, buying when price is moving down. That causes the patterns to occur over and over again, at the same time.
Humans always fall for their short-term satisfactions and their impulsive desires, and you know what I mean. So that's always been that's so true. But the speculation. So let's say.
Entered on the break of the low. Oh, got stopped out. Managed risk. Yeah, that's fine. Manage risk. That's good. But right now we're just waiting over here. What's the benefit for the Fed knowing the US? Oh yeah, power. I think at the end of the day, it's not about money anymore. It's all about power now. Who can have the most power? Did you ever go for the funding talent or FTMO? uh, yeah, he's got his own money to trade. GJ
Yeah,
dropped.
I got my own money.
Hey, Ornito. Quick question. I don't know if I missed it at the start of the streaming. What do you see on gold happening today? You see a pullback, heavy pullback towards 1810, 1811
Honestly,
before the
with
continuation?
yeah, honestly, with the end of the week, just because you can see some profit taking usually at the end of the week, and but I honestly don't think NFP is gonna do too much in my opinion. It's usually just been a blip, just because the U.S. dollar has been primarily following what the Feds have been doing, and as long as the U.S. dollar has been still bearish, because we trade gold against the dollar, it's been a good confluence, like fundamentally, of bulls on gold. That's why me, you, Ted, like we could be calling these bulls every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, and then now the fact that it broke into new highs that buyers have printed, we're not seeing a break in structure yet, right? So it's not like you want to start selling just because you see a resistance formed. It's still very bullish in market structure, and it could just create a quick like consolidation zone, generate some liquidity, and then break right up into a new high, right? With the potential with the volume that comes from NFP, especially if it weakens the dollar again. So
long term, I'll say, and I don't know, I haven't talked about this with anybody. Long term, do you think gold can easily go to the 1900s again?
19
usually,
long term, I still think as long as it depends about, honestly, it's going to be really linked to how economies rebound or not. You know what I mean? Like if we have more countries start to open economies back up, and then more vaccinations around the world, then we could see a pretty hard rejection, because on the higher time frame, we've still seen that gold has been in this corrective bearish structure. We've just been riding this bounce from those 1680 lows and the bullish market structure that's developed with that US dollar weakness, right? But we have to be very cautious as we're digging into the 1850s and 1860s. But I think once we break above there, technically, and more buyers enter the market, as long as the US dollar is still weak and the money supply of the Feds is still increasing, which is increasing inflation, then we could have the potential to hit the 1900s from that point. But if you look at, let me see if I can annotate here. Just keep it on the daily here.
Okay.
So see, look at this repetition, and the same way you see technical repetition. The same way you see fundamental repetition, you see technical repetition. So you see how you've been in this structure where you've been on the higher time frame ever since we printed all-time highs on gold at 2075, and then we had a flood of support from the Federal Reserve increasing the US dollars in the market, money going into the stock market, the panic being subdued in the markets, and a flood of vaccines. Then there was less demand for gold as a safe haven precious metal, and it's been more in that bearish corrective state where it's been playing in this channel for almost like 6 months now, right? And we can see that you have these repeats where every time an impulsive low is created, you have the profit taking by sellers and buyers jumping back in the market to create these very aggressive pullbacks on the higher time frame that you can almost play for like a few weeks or a month period, as long as market structure doesn't break, right? So what we're seeing now when you're looking at this previous phase is like we're sort of hitting this area now. We're peaking and coming to a previous price sensitivity area to the left, right? So we want to be very cautious when we're digging into this price points to the left, where if we have a bounce in the US dollar, you don't want to be caught in an aggressive sell side play and a rejection there. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole reason why why Kerwin and I and even Ted in the chat, we've been riding those buys up, is because the structure never broke, right? You just had these little consolidation zones where you get liquidity and orders coming into the market, and a continued break to the upside. And you can see how that repeats technically. And when you see the same repetition technically, it just gives you more confidence to execute those trades or extend your trades, let runners go. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you know, one of the things that for me it's really easy. I don't know if because of my you know, my natural thing on gold is basically buying gold. But I love buying gold other than selling gold. When you sell gold, you're gonna have, you know, like these massive pullbacks. You can see when gold tends to drop, it dropped 200 points, and then all of a sudden it's retracing 150.
yeah,
So and
that's
then
true,
it's
true.
closing inside the range. When you have this bullish structure on gold, it's really easy to, you know, to get in this confidence buying gold, because after those massive drops, you get price corrected. Last week, man, last week, to be honest, I was expecting close bullish to the price that we're trading right now, and the previous weekly candle closed bearish.
Yeah, but that
you
was
know,
because of Janet Yellen. She's a
yes,
formal
yes,
federal.
that's
She's a
that.
formal Federal Reserve head, and she literally set a price for herself. She came with this headline talking about interest rates, and then 2 minutes later said, "Never mind." She got her buys in, and then and since then it went to new highs. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it was
to be
it was
honest,
just a
yeah,
blip. Yeah, trust me. Janet
yeah,
Yellen just
that
she set up on the same thing on the US 30. The US 30 spiked down, and then gold spiked down when she brought negativity with like talking about interest rates and some bad shit can still happen, pretty much to summarize. And then literally 10 minutes later she said, "Oh, never mind. I'm not in any place to talk about what the Fed can do." And then we had a correction, and now if you notice, gold pushed to new highs and US 30 hit new all-time highs as well.
Yeah,
Right,
I
US
love when
30
they
hit
have the
like
correlation. That one is pumping and the other one is following. It's really easy though.
But anyways, thanks for having me, everybody. I gotta get some sleep. I was up through London session too. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
I didn't mean to talk too much. You know, I'll see you guys in the chat
Thanks for
later.
passing by, Jivan.
I'll see you guys later. Take care.
Take care. Take care. All right, what's this over here? Making some pips. Oh, nice. Beautiful. Making pips on a Friday. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where we're going to head off with gold here with NFP. Most of the consensus is above 1822 to 1826.
Yeah, that's the easiest play. But we don't know the pullback.
Yeah,
No,
we don't know the
pullback
pullback.
can be insane toward the 1810.
Yeah, what can also happen is with NFP, we can wick down and then gold can continue the trend moving into moving into NYSE open. That's something we've seen as well before.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see.
Yeah.
What's this chart over here? Oh, just sent the zones? Okay, makes sense. Libra esterlina yen japonese. Perfect. Yeah, I'm learning Spanish. Muchacha.
That's the easiest thing.
Espectacular.
Remember when you came to Miami, that lady at the hotel? Hola, mi amor.
Oh, yeah, I know. Hola, mi amor.
Hispanics, they're too sweet sometimes.
Yeah, they're very sweet. Like, it's hard to tell if they're flirting with you or just being friendly with you. Here's my optimistic view on gold, as mentioned earlier. Here are my targets for gold. XAU to move 200 pips in one day is not unrealistic to see a move down. Oh, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we're going to move below 1817 or are we going to move above 1822 here with NFP. Do you think the market has been moving weirdly due to the pound rates and NFP? For pound yen, I would say so. But for gold technically yesterday was still bullish, right? We had the support at 1891. We had a resistance at 1791 and 96. But if we broke below, we had to break below 1788, and we had to break above 1796.97. And we ended up breaking above 1796.97, even though the employment numbers were pretty good.
See, that's why sometimes you cannot rely on fundamentals like on those type of news. And we said it. I mean, we knew it. Even though with good news or whatever, gold is gonna continue pumping. Gold doesn't, doesn't give a rat's ass about some news sometimes. So just depending on the institution, where do they want the price going, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's true. I think overall fundamentals may affect price on like the daily and the weekly, but when you're looking at the 30-minute or the 1 hour, 15-minute, I don't think they affect it as much. It may have like a adverse reaction to it, but just by having positive news and taking sells on gold, yeah, I don't think that's the right way to go about it. If it drops below 1810, do you see 1800 since it is really clear to the left? Yes. So that's what we're talking about, a correction of this move up. If we break below 1811, 1810. Let's see here. Do you have a backtest a strategy 100 times before you trade live? No, I do live backtesting here. Potential buys above 109, 170, sells below this area here on UCJPY. Yeah, it's kind of like the same ranges I have here too. We're in consolidation here, so we're waiting for the high volume news. What do you think about sells below 151, 700? 151, 700. So this is right here. Oh, looks like on a 30-minute we have it at like 650 right here. Yeah, I think they'd be pretty choppy because if I measure this range down to this point, these rejections like 15, 16 pips away. So I would rather just watch and miss the move than to actively look for the trade over here on pound yen. I don't know. I'm looking for buys above 152, 200. That's it. That's the only thing I'm looking for in pound yen here today. Buys above this area because I know if we break above 152 to 200, we've tried that in the last 2 days. We couldn't break above it. But if we do break above this area, I think that's going to be a pretty good move. So I'm waiting for that. So, I would say buys would be much better than sells in my opinion. So let's see what happens. What's going on over here? Pound yen 30-minute chart entered on 30-minute break of support. Okay, took 50% off as price tapped into wick. Okay, now it just needs to break this low and think it can go down. But I'm just being very cautious here with my trades today. Hey, Rajo, that's a new name for me. XRP, USD pair, I have current trade running. I use impulse entry of the bust of the move. What? Local current bottom. Break off ejaculation target. What kind of science is this? Bust through the ATH. I don't know. Looks good, I guess. What are you trying to do over here? Where's your entry? Ball price of. Alright. We're gonna ignore this. Okay, close this. Okay, yeah, this was Jeevan's channel there. Oh, nice. He gained 300 subscribers today. Beautiful. Had a bullish run. How to add another decimal on the chart? I have no idea. I don't know what that means. Adding another decimal? I remember you was talking about once about some of your students doing German live stream. Is he still doing it? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember the name. I know there was some talks about that, but I don't remember the name. Let's take a look at GU over here. Pound USD. Pound USD is also ranging. Looking on the 4-hour time frame, let's take a look here. So we're creating a resistance right here, pound USD. We have support forming at 1.38780. And we're approaching some sort of a support here on the 1 hour time frame as well. Let's take a look at that on the 30-minute time frame. Oh, seems like there was a bit of a fake out in this area. Price created support. Look at this. Price created support. Support broke down, came right back in the range. But also broke down to the support at 1.38900 as well. Could you please say what's up to Kerbin for me? Arseni Nikitin. What's up, Kerbin?
Hey, what's
Roger.
up? Sunny.
Roger, if you go back on the GU chart, I want to ask you a question.
Oh yeah.
So looking at the fake out that you just mentioned, so you got the fake out and then you got the strong bullish pushback in the range, right? Would you be taking buys then just because you know it's a fake out and price could potentially go in the opposite direction?
No, that's very tough to say because it's not happening on the pair I trade. It's happening on another pair. So maybe this situation will not happen on the pair I trade. So I wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay, makes sense.
How come you're paying $7 per lot on Vantage FX when each lot is $6? I have no idea. But I'm not on Vantage FX now. I'm on Dominion Markets. All right, we're coming down to support here on pound yen. Looks like Jonathan had a nice trade here coming down. Will Dominion Markets ever come to Canada? Oh, Canada. If your country is not listed, you can choose crypto from the drop down and then you can continue as normal. Could you do a shout out for my boy? It's his birthday and he's watching. His name is Nick Gur. It is his 24th birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Nick Gur. Hope this year you get consistent. Yeah, I hope this year you get consistent and you stopped. Oh, wait. Read it again. I don't know, man. I don't know these young jokes. I have no idea. What's wrong? It's a name. Oh, okay. I get it. Will Raul trade with your broker now? He left Goat Forex broker for some reason. I have no idea what type of an operation was happening over there. I just don't know, and I don't want to talk about it.
Delicate situation is better to stay out.
Yeah, it's better to stay out. Delicate situation. I'm in an EA, ran 4 months on demo and getting good results. Today, start running on real account. Can you see the stats and give comments? Yeah, for sure. We can see the stats. I mean, if it's an EA and it's running good, we can probably have it on the leaderboard, you know. And if it's really running good over there, I think you can make. I think you can make some money off of the commissions you can get off of the leaderboard if people follow that. Oh, look at this! Look at this EA over here, starting from January 2021. Oh, nice. What's it at? 30, 36, 37%. Not bad. 13,000, 3,000 profit so far from 10,000. Beautiful. Look at this. Equity kind of went a little lower and then it came back. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Pretty good. What's the difference between the pro account and the regular account? Pro account is where you have lower spreads, but then you have commission, and then standard account is where you have higher spreads. So I trade on the pro account. Is there a website like MyFXBook that will work with MT5 that shows your statistics? No, I think MyFXBook is the only one I know of so far that does that. What time is it right now? It's 7:40. We got 15 minutes left for NFP. Look at the way USD JPY is ranging. This just tells you there's going to be a huge breakout coming on USD JPY. Also in gold as well, we're in a very, very tight range now. Look at this. It's like a 23 pip range, extremely tight. You want to extend it to like 1817, 38 pip range. Compared to the 200 pip move yesterday. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, that was insane. I'm still holding.
Oh, wow.
It's a 228 pips.
Man, I closed at 1805 and then the thing ran up 100 more pips. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. You know that I was making the video to send you guys a video to the chat, and then all of a sudden I was recording this thing. All of a sudden I stopped recording when I go to the magic keys to close the position. This thing already went like 50 pips more, so I was, oh my goodness.
Yeah, better to hold it now and see what happens with NFP.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a high probability that price will create a new high with a big wick and then push down so heavily yesterday? News were positive for the USD could reflect NFP today. You know, anything can happen, but from what I've seen in the past is that if they're expecting good NFP and we're in a very, very bullish trend on gold, we may spike down and then start pushing further up towards 1826. Because technically, if you look on the 4-hour time frame, so let me show you this, right? So look to the left over here. So let me get rid of this line at this point. So look where price is right now, right? Price is in this range on the 4-hour between 1817 and 1826. So if we're in this range, that means there's a very high probability that if we do respect 1817, 1816 with NFP, I think we can continue moving towards 1826, which is actually 60 pips away, 60 to 65 pips away. You know, so I think that's probably that could happen. And that's why we gotta wait to see how NFP is gonna move. Oh wow, look at that curve in 228 pips.
It's a small runner though, but you know, just for fun, because
just
I want to
fun.
see if this thing finally tapped the 1825. I've been calling this 1825 since last week.
Yeah.
Since Monday.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Would you consider minimum deposit on demand markets for $50? Yeah, I think it's 50 or 10 with crypto. That's what happens to GoatFX when the owners are also signal providers providing opposite signals and both begging you to join the broker. Well, you know, I think it comes with professionalism too. Like when you're running a business, it has to show how professional you are. You know, because if you're professional, you're going to get people to come to you rather than have to beg for people to come to you. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it also comes with age as well. Like, you know, how you carry yourself out there. I mean, I don't know. I think it comes with age and experience too. Did you ever check in with the Indian guy? Oh, no, I didn't. I'm going to call him today. I keep forgetting. What is NFP, please? NFP is the biggest economic event for the US dollar every month. You know, it happens in the first week of the month, and this is what we have here today. So we're going to see how many people are employed and how this is affecting the economy. They're expecting the number to be 990,000 from 916,000. They're expecting good numbers. So we shall see how this happens here. We have about 45 minutes left now. Let's see.
This guy said,
oh,
sorry to cut you off. This mini bank said Biden will speak on NFP. Can you imagine that? Nothing at all, right?
Biden
sleeping on this podium.
Hey, bro, it's too early for Biden at this time. Can you check USD CAD? Yeah, I'm checking. So daily is bearish. We're rejecting some area here. Looking on the 4-hour time frame, we're doing that. So 4-hour, we made a low at this point. Seems like we're coming up to do a retest to continue down. Looking at the 30-minute time frame here now, we're creating some sort of a support here before NFP. So it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to affect price. NFP is going to affect every US dollar pair, you know, so you got to be very careful with that. GU as the candle broke the low, took sells. Closed 90% at 10 pips. Oh, nice. Beautiful. So if you're trading, you're going to understand that price will literally all the time give you an opportunity to secure profits at 10 pips. All the time. You know, and it's up to you whether you want to do it or whether you want to, like, you know, let it go and just wait. Why would you trade USD CAD when both currencies have news at the same time? Yeah, that's true too. We have CAD unemployment rate, we have USD unemployment rate. USD CAD is going to be thrown into a tailspin here today at 8:30. All right, what's this? Was this the right position to add? So I think you added the position as it broke its own low. Yes, this is perfect. This was absolutely perfect. Thoughts on the volatility on BTX stock? I have no idea what that is. How many pairs did you trade when you start trading Forex? Me, I was trading, I think, 10 pairs. All the USD pairs I was trading, all of them, you know. Maybe 4 or 5 CAD pairs I was trading. So I was trading everything. Everything that made sense to me. And that was not the best idea, to be honest. All right, I don't know if I want to download this. Yeah, I'm not going to download this. You guys are rude. Oh, that's okay. We get it all the time. Hey, I have 2 questions in this chart by the Gulag, Mr. Ben90. Let's take a look here. What's this? Which type you trust and which on you should avoid? In these situations, third bullish candle breaks the low of the previous one. Would you? So this one, this one, this one. I would trust this one right here. I would trust this one and this one. The reason I would trust the first one is because not only this candle is breaking the high of the previous candle, but then it also has this wick to fill as it starts to move up because it's now breaking above this resistance. This one I would also trust is because this has no wick. We have a high over here, we're breaking above this area, so it has a high probability to continue up. This, I don't know, not so much. Doesn't look appealing to me. You know, so the first one and third one I would always trust, most of the times. Would you consider buy stops and sell stops on gold? That's very interesting. We'll have to see where the 30-minute candle is going to close. Because usually if I'm going to look for buy stops and sell stops for NFP, I think it's going to be above the 30-minute candle and below the 30-minute candle. But at the same time, we got to be careful about not getting, you know, both activated. Because the spread can jump up so much, it can activate both of the positions and just really mess everything up. So we'll see how the 30-minute candle comes to a close in about 40 minutes. All right. What's this? What's Mr. Saad saying over here? Ban me. Oh, okay. There we go. How will copy trading work on Trader's Domain? You can go to Trader's Domain and you can read all about it over there. Same thing goes for everything else. All the information is out there. All right. Let's see here. What's the shape of the earth? You know, I was actually watching this documentary about these flat earthers and how they really believe earth is flat. And something that really made sense to me was that if you go to the edge, there's this big giant wall of ice. You know, like in the Ice Age, you see this big giant wall of ice. So I think, and no one knows what's beyond that wall. Actually, no one knows. You know, so maybe from that point, you'll just fall. You know?
Fuck, man.
That's it.
Again, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, you're just gonna fall because I mean no one knows. And there was also this this experiment that Someone did. So we had this guy, right? This guy bought a leveler. Like, you know what a leveler is? Like when you hang stuff on the wall and there's this bubble and you kind of move it, moves left and right. He bought the leveler and he said that imagine this is Earth, right? If this is Earth and if you're flying from San Francisco to India, the plane has to go like this, right? The plane has to go like this. So the nose has to tip a little bit. So this guy, he went in the plane with the leveler and he's like, look guys, the leveler is steady. The bubble is not moving. That means the earth is flat. Because if the earth was round, the leveler would tilt like this.
What the hell, man?
Yeah. It would tip like this, but we're moving straight because the earth is flat. So I'm like,
Damn, bro.
I'm like, bro, that bubble is this big, you know, and earth is way big.
Bro, that's insane.
And I'm like, wow, man, that's crazy.
Where you saw that thing?
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah, man, they have like these big, giant conferences in the States of all these flat earth people. They come on and they bring these reasonings and all this stuff. Yeah, they've done a lot of experiments. There was this one experiment where they said that, okay, so we will let a boat go straight in the ocean, right? And if the earth is round, we're going to point a laser at it. And if the earth is round, the boat should tilt a little bit and the laser would go right above the boat. You know?
Okay.
And they said that the laser was still hitting the boat.
But how powerful is that laser? Bro?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, man.
yeah, so some funny stuff. And actually, it was very convincing. I was kind of convinced. I was like, that makes sense.
Because you already talked about something about this like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, now it's getting into your brain, and then it is like a confluence, and then you start to believe that it's true, but it's not, man.
Yeah, it was funny. Imagine if he's right and all the information we have is wrong. Well, I don't know. No one knows. Who knows? Let's see here. Dominion Markets does accept U.S. residents. Do you know about any broker that accepts U.S. residents? Regulation-wise, there are not many. Regulation-wise, but I think what you can do is if you go to dominionmarkets.com, you go to client area, and if your country is not listed, I think you can scroll down and you can just choose crypto and continue as normal. Nothing's going to change. Everything's going to stay the same. It's just like some countries, they can't be listed. So we have that option there. The smartest people in the world. Oh. All right. Let's see here. You gotta realize people clowning Raja only their knowledge from elementary school. What if oxygen is a drug and like MDMA? All right, now we're moving into conspiracies here. We got 5 minutes left for the NY Open, and we're closing bullish around 1821, 1822. You know, ideally, what I would want to see is that I would want to see a 30-minute candle probably closing like this before NFP. And then I'm going to have a buy stop above the 30-minute candle. Because it's going to quickly pump up. I'm going to secure like 15 to 20 pips and call it a day. That's the ideal scenario that I want to see happen today. Since I drew the candle, imagine that does happen. Oh, magic. Can an Indian use Dominion Markets? I just showed you exactly what happens. With that question, I don't think you can use Dominion Markets. All right, let's see here. How many times a day as well does Raja have to tell people to sign up and use crypto as well? I think our team gets almost like 15 emails like that every day. But it's all cool. Like, you know, they're good people. They answer on time. They're pretty quick. All right, let's take a look at Euro JPY. We're getting some requests for Euro JPY. Looks like Euro JPY is breaking below the lows here on the 30-minute time frame. We have clean candle to the left hand side. We have a little bit of a rejection around 131.730. So we're not sure whether we will reject this area or are we going to continue moving beyond this point, because look, we got a support at this point. We also have NY Open coming on strong. So let's measure this range. It's like a 7-8 pip range going all the way to 16 pip range. So I don't think it's worth it. All right, looks like USD/JPY is breaking up here before NY Open. This is interesting now. If we're breaking up here, gold should break down, but gold is also super bullish with some rejection wicks at the bottom. Hey, I'm always working from 3:30 to 7:30. I never miss your stream showing their support. Oh, nice, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. I think Miguel has a question. Well, Miguel can unmute himself and ask the question. Oh, probably he's driving too. Let's see here. When is NFP news coming in? 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, we're going to see some fireworks here today. Let's take a look at this chart. This chart is loading. Let's see if it's a good... Oh, this is not a chart. This is a Khan Academy. Okay, yeah, this is a resource to learn macroeconomics, microeconomics. You know, these are all free lectures here. You know, so whoever wants to learn some stuff, you can go over here, you can learn stuff. Also, you can Google free online courses on economics, you know, finances and all that stuff. I actually took a minor economics course from the Harvard thing there. It was pretty good. It's pretty good. Did that 2 years ago. You should check out Brave browser because Google is a little devil that sells you information. Let Google sell my information, man. What are they going to sell? Male, age 34, does live streams. Whoa, scary. Let's see here. How often do you backtest? I don't backtest. I do live testing here. I do live testing. I think there's a big difference when you do back testing. You know, when you do back testing, you're basically going back in the charts, you're looking at patterns and you're asking yourself, okay, yeah, this works, this and that, perfect, right? But the only thing that you're not testing at that point is that you're not testing the time it takes for the candle to close. Because when you're looking at the live market, you're watching the candle form, you're watching the candle close. If you're in trade, you're looking at the 15-minute, you're looking at the 5-minute. If you're a new trader, you're looking at the 1 minute and just like, you know, I mean, you're getting anxiety, you're getting stressed out with every movement up and down. So that's something you don't get to experience when you're doing back testing. So I like to do live testing, and live testing in a way to really wait for candles to print the pattern I want them to print, and then to see if it's really going to work, you know. And that takes a very long amount of time, because like when we came up with the concept of impulse entries, it basically took us around 7 to 8 months to kind of like really perfect it, to say that, okay, like, you know what, this worked and this doesn't work. You know, if we did backtesting, in backtesting it's really quick. You don't get to really watch the candles move. There's an aspect of not waiting around as much, you know. So I think it's much better to do live testing and really make notes and say that, okay, yesterday this happened, or day before yesterday that happened. So that's going to help you a lot more. It's going to take time. It's going to be boring, but it's going to build your foundations in whatever you're trying to learn over here. What's this website? adsettings.google.com. Oh yeah, I know this. adsettings.google.com. This is what Google knows about me. Google knows I'm 34 speak English, donate to sick kids. See, I do donations. Company size 1 to this, home improvement, jobs, parental status, not a parent. Google doesn't know this. Married, no, Google knows this. Urban public transport, I've never taken public transport. I mean, I have maybe like 8 years ago. Home ownership, renters. Yeah, Google doesn't know this. So if you open this link, Google's going to tell you what they know about you. What's this? I'm only available to trade between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern. Is it a good time? Yes. I think lately, man, if you look at April and March, lately we've had good moves between 8 and 11. We've had breaks at NYSE. We've had moves by London close. You know, most of the moves we've had are between 8 and 11. So I think that's also a really good time. There's a lot of volume at that time too. Wow, UJ is really breaking up over here. Interesting. Is it just breaking up to wick back down, or what's going on over here? Or are they pricing in the good NFP? But I think it's way too early to price that in. Gold is also moving down. Very interesting. Magic keys are clutch. My 10 pips and didn't have to think about it. Thank you, thank you. Nice. Some people who ordered magic keys, we ran into some shipping problems with DHL, you know, so we apologize for that. Shipping problems with DHL, they're out of our control. We can't do anything about it. They're stuck. But we're trying to get to the bottom of it. What's this? Gold is down. Yeah, gold is down after 1817, not before that. So we'll have to wait. What currency pair do you recommend for 8 a.m. to 11 a.m.? You got USD JPY, you got pound JPY, you got pound USD. All currencies move in that thing. So if you go to pairs to trade, I'm going to post this link over here. I mean, all the information is here for you guys. You just got to go and look for that. Look at this. Asian session, best pairs to trade. London session, pairs to trade. I'm going to post this in the Gulag here as well. New York session, pairs to trade. You know, so I mean, you can look at this and you can see which pairs have the most volume, and then you can, yeah, decide after that. So based on anticipated news, your bias is a sell or a buy. Based on technicals, if we break above 1822, my bias is buys. That's what I'm looking at here. This dude sounds like Ralph from Ed, Ed and Eddie all grown up. Oh, yeah, I grew up watching those cartoons, Ed, Ed and Eddie. If they played those now, that's going to be borderline harassment and bullying. Ed, Ed and Eddie.
I know, right?
Yeah. Ed, Ed and Eddie, yeah, they were hilarious. This guy used to get bullied all the time. This little short guy. Short bald guy with 3 hair on his
It looks
head.
like Mac. That's Mac.
That's a good one.
Then you have Raja over here. More dollars.
More dollars. How to check volume other than size of candle? There's no other way to check volume. I mean, there is like the volume bars, but the volume bars are only going to tell you volume on the previous candle. The best way to check volume is to look at the time that you're moving in, right? Like right now we have a lot of volume here. We have news in about 25 minutes, and man, let's see what happens here. Do we break above 1821 or break below 1817? So you. All right, let's take a look at the Chinese indicator here. What's it saying? So Chinese indicator is saying yen is weak, dollar is strong. All right, slowly we're coming up over here on USD/JPY. How big is this move? Probably 8 pips, 9 pips. Wow, crazy. Gold is also coming down to 1817. Let's see here. Have you read the whole 10 essentials of Forex? No, I haven't read the whole thing. Only I read about consolidation. What's the spread during NFP on gold? Pretty high. I would say 6 pips, 7 pips. I'm going to show you guys the live spreads as we move into NFP, and then we will see what kind of spreads do we get. Right now, these are the spreads we're getting. Pound yen is at 1.2, 1.3. You can see the spreads right here. Oh, 0.9, less than a pip. Gold is at 2, your JPY. IBM, you can trade stocks on MT5 as well, but I doubt anyone does. So yeah. So we'll be keeping an eye on these two spreads here, gold and pound yen. How can you see the spreads on MT5? Press F10. You can also see it in Market Watch as well. So if I show you the terminal here, this is where you can see it. Oh, yeah, right here, left hand side. See the spreads. All right, where to put buy stop on gold? See, before we talk about putting buy stops and sell stops on gold, or like, you know, whatever on NFP, just remember you can get slipped. You know, there's a very high possibility you can get slipped. So slippage is going to be a big one here. What's the commission on demand markets? It's $7 per one lot. Doubted the guy who said F10 before. Yes, we did doubt the guy who said F10 before. There was someone in Gulag who said press F10 to see the charts, and I was very hesitant to press F10. I was like, I don't know. The Gulag is not trustworthy, but slowly we're getting trust here. I'm not sure I'm able to do the time step or not for today. I'm still at work. Might not be able to reach home on time. Oh, don't worry, don't worry. How you sell the downtrend? How we sell the downtrend? Right now we're in an uptrend. I think if we break below 1817, we can continue down towards possibly 1814. So we'll have to see. Looks like USD/JPY also moving up. Now this is very interesting. Is this pricing in the good news? That's why we're moving bullish at this time?
Yeah, most likely trying to grab liquidity, in my opinion.
Yeah. What's this? I've been analyzing volume candle at NYC Open for a while. TradingView shows volume bars, but as you say, the high volume candles are big. Sometimes at NYC Open, despite of massive volume, the candles are not always big. Do you agree? Yes, I do agree. Sometimes the candles are not big, sometimes they're big. Why it happens? Who knows? It's just like, you know, it's just the way how it is. Sometimes the volume candles are big at NYC Open, sometimes they're bigger at the London close hour, you know, at 10 a.m. Eastern. If gold breaks below 1817, what would be the scenario you want to see? Honestly, I would want to see a candle closing bearish like this to take a sell below this area to continue down, because we got clean candles through left hand side. So I think that move should be mirrored as it continues bearish. There's a description of your YouTube videos. The link for the broker is missing. Oh, okay. We're going to fix this. All right, let's see over here. If the 30-minute closes with no wick on the top, NFP candle breaks the high, do you think that would be a confirmation? Yes, I think so. But we'll have to be very mindful of the fact that the break up could be just a wick form to come down. So that's where NFP could be very deadly. Dawn is sending charts. Dawn, I'm not gonna download. Oh, there we go. We got it right here. This is gold. Sells below 1817. Looks good. You got another major support here, 1813. Yeah, nice. Buys above 1820. Looks good. We'll just have to wait and see now. We're coming down here. USDJPY is moving up here. Interesting. When Magic Keys will be restocked? I think in about 2 weeks. Which platform is good, MT5 or MT Standard? There's no such thing as MT Standard. Is this live trading? Yes, but we're not in any trades. Let's see here. What do you think about a buy on EU at NY Open? I think you need to send a chart and then we can take a look at that. Let's see here. So they're expecting really good numbers. March we had good numbers, really good numbers. April we had really, really good numbers. And now we're moving into May. In May, we're going to have the numbers from April. So, you know, most of the economies are opening in the US. So I don't know, maybe the number, if the number is above, let's say 990, I think, yeah, I mean, if we get into like over 10 million, man, that's going to be crazy. That should really push gold down. Wow, it's already moving below 1817. Gotta wait for it to close here. Let's take a look on the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, we got about 17 minutes left. Are you holding any cryptos? I'm holding Dogecoin. My $1,000 investment on Dogecoin is at 1,700. 700 bucks. What about XRP? I have no idea. I don't know much about cryptos. Someone told me about Dogecoin, and then I heard Mark Cuban talking about it. He said that his kid has $1,000 in it. I'm like, all right, well, I'll put $1,000 in it too. That's the only reason I put $1,000 in it. Just because some guy on the TV said his kid has $1,000 in it. I'm like, all right. Looks like I'll do it too. Seems like gold is playing the same way GJ did yesterday. Breaks the opposite way and bearish wicks to continue bullish. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how gold reacts. Still have about 15 minutes. Capital Hungry did mention that this NFP could potentially not have any effect on gold since the unemployment rates have been priced in. What are your thoughts? I don't know. If they were priced in, gold should have moved down. You know, if they're looking at really good numbers, gold should have moved down. And then we could have said that, okay, like, you know what, that good news for NFP and then unemployment is priced in. But it really moved bullish here. So I'm unsure whether that's priced in or not. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Like the way the 30-minute candle is closing right now, I may be looking at buy stops at 1820.50 right here above the 30-minute candle or below, you know, 1817 below the 30-minute candle. So we'll see. Do you like electric cars? Would you consider buying one? You know, at the end of the day, I think all our gas cars are going to get obsolete first in Europe and then in North America. The gas prices will increase. They will discourage people from driving gas cars, and then slowly we're moving into electric vehicles. I think that's going to happen. But I think what most people are going to miss are the engine sounds. You know, like your V8, V10s, V12s.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Man, I heard about this mod on Tesla you can do. You can put these speakers in your exhaust that sounds like V8.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not real. Let's be honest. That's like, I'm gonna drop this straight right here, but that's like basically a woman faking a orgasm. I mean, you know, it's not there. I mean, you don't have it. It's not there. Period.
Yeah, that's kind of like an extreme example there, but I think a better.
I mean, let's be honest, bro. That's why. Because if you're a real man, are you gonna be joking with this type of speaker and something? Come on, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Or that's like
Big ass man, and I really like my truck. It's a B8. I can't, you know. I don't know.
Tesla exhaust speaker.
That's fake.
Yeah, see? Here we are. Music, Tesla coil, plasma speaker, wireless transmission, experimental. Yeah, they got this whole exhaust speaker over here. Active exhaust sound. Easy to install, phone control. Yeah, it's all. I mean, yeah, it is. It's like it's like a mentor trading on $100,000 FTMO account, saying that, oh look, I have this big account. That's all what it is.
That's another good example.
That's another good example right here.
Oh yeah.
I heard you're going back to your country. What happens to the live streams then? Live streams will continue the same way we have right now. There's going to be no change in live streams. We have 15 minutes left. Oh, wow. Look at that rejection on gold. Holy, was this a rejection to continue bullish for NFP?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Still hot time.
Yeah, still got about 14 minutes left. What page do you recommend to watch currency strength? No such page. No such page at all. There's no such page like that. I mean, there's this. We just joke around with it, but you know, it's nothing serious here. It's a Chinese indicator. Oh, what's this? Tesla with speakers. Oh. Oh, no way. Crazy.
Salut, Ionuț. Noi am stat de...
That actually doesn't sound that bad. But they're speakers. Oh, you can choose what you can choose the sound. Oh, crazy. This is pretty serious. It's like plastic surgery. Yeah, you're right. Are you placing the buy stop? Yes. It's going to be around 1820, 1821. That's where the buy stop is going to be. This is going to be very interesting. All right. We are going to get ready over here. Will you get slipped in the buy stop? There's a potential. Yes, I can get slipped on the buy stop. There's a potential that can happen. So I got to be aware of that too. Let's take a look here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch over to my other account and I'm going to trade over there. Because it's NFP, there's a potential for a loss, and the last thing I want to do is to have a losing trade, because I don't think that's going to be a good idea to have a losing trade on my main account, right? So that's what we're going to do here today. So here's what I did. I switched over to my $2,000 account right here. So I'm going to trade on this here for NFP. Oh, yeah. So we're going to see when it comes time. I'm going to place my buy stops and sell stops, and then we're going to take that trade. So whoever's trying to trade NFP, I would say this. Use only 10% of what you have, because even if you lose that amount, you shouldn't be affected by it. Otherwise, it's going to be a very delicate Friday for a lot of people. You know, so don't risk your entire account. Show the MT5 live when the move happens. Just want to see how the numbers roll. Okay, yeah, I'm going to show the terminal when the NFP happens. So listen, if you have a $5,000 account, move $500 to another account and then trade on that. You got $1,000, move $100. Don't trade on your full account. because if you use a big lot and you get slipped, it's not going to be good. That happened to me once on USD CAD interest rates. I had a buy stop and price moved up a little bit, spread activated the buy stop, and then it slipped 80 pips. I had 16,000 and that was a 10 lot, and that was an automatic $8,000 loss in 2 seconds. Couldn't do anything about it. And after that, I said, okay, Raja, I promise I'm going to move 10% over when I trade. So yeah, we're going to wait over here now. We got 8 minutes left. 8 minutes left. Looking at USD JPY, we're retracing. Gold is right here. It's going to be interesting. Okay, so probably going to use around 2 lots here. All right, so this is what we're looking at here. I think everyone can see my screen here, right? All right, so we're going to do this. Move the chat at this point. Perfect. Draw our zones. Draw this line right here. We got a support right here. And then we got a resistance right here. Just gotta wait to see where this candle is gonna close, the 30-minute candle. All right, Avengers assemble. We have 8 minutes left. It's gonna be. You can see the spreads. All right, let me bring up the spreads over here too. All right, there we go. We got the spreads here. This is the gold spread at the bottom. We're going to focus on the gold spread. How to set a buy stop. I don't think you should even trade at this point. If you don't know how to set a buy stop, I don't think you should be trading. Just close the charts. How to set a buy stop. So, okay, so how much time we got left? We got around 8 minutes left. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move the chat. Okay, we're going to move the chat. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to have a buy stop above the 30-minute candle and a sell stop below the 30-minute candle. So it's going to be a sell stop right here at the bottom, just like this. Oh, just like this right here at the bottom. There's going to be a sell stop, and then a buy stop is going to be above the candle here. So yeah, let's see what happens here. You're so sketchy. No, it's 2,000. I can afford to lose 2,000. You guys have to understand this. I can afford to lose 2,000. You know, so only gamble with money you can afford to lose. This is straight gamble. This is straight gamble. There's nothing serious about this. So don't take this seriously, and don't take this as signals either. You know, this is not signals. Why did you not buy a Trackhawk? Because Trackhawk, it doesn't have 7 seats. I was looking for something that has 7 seats. Wow, 2.4, 3 pips. You can see how we're moving close to NFP and the spread is jumping here. All right. Okay, let's take a look on the 4-hour here. Let's zoom out. So we're looking at price to come above to, what's this? 1826. 1826 right here. Oh, where did price go? Right here. All right, perfect. Will you take the car with you? No, not really. If the spread is jumping, would you be better placing buy stops 3 or 4 pips above? Yes. Yes. So whatever the candle is going to close, let's say if price is right here, sell stop is going to be below this area. Buy stop is probably going to be above, a couple of pips above this candle, probably around, I would say like 21, 22. So we'll see what happens. If someone wants to laugh on the mic, please mute yourself because we don't want to hear that on the mic. Perfect. Why only gold? Silver has better setup. Because I don't trade silver, I only trade gold. So let's switch over here. We still got some time. 4 minutes left. Wow, it's going to be interesting. USD/JPY has retraced all the way down. You know, sometimes when you open a too much big of a lot and your palms just start to sweat, that's when your palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy.
Then your fingers start tingling like.
Yeah, fingers start tingling. You're like, oh boy, oh boy. Here we go. Just remember, don't take your account on a roller coaster ride today. Don't do that. Just be very mindful. There's going to be no stop loss, right? The only stop loss is going to be this close button right here. I'm just going to be tapping close. Yeah, I'm going to be tapping close here. So I got magic keys on here. Okay. Perfect. I got magic keys right here ready. We are ready. Yeah, I'm going to have it on close full. This Zoom should be a recording for what not to do when trading. Yes, that's true. All right. Have you got buy stops and sell stops on? Are you guys blind? Can't you see? There's nothing on the chart at this point. I'm going to place buy stops and sell stops maybe 1 minute away. 1 minute away. So we can see the price right. We can see the time right here, right? This is 12:27. I'm going to place buy stops and sell stops at 12:29. And then I'm going to adjust them as price moves here. And man, look at the spread here. 3 pips at this point. Crazy. All right. This is going to be interesting. Yes. Also remember, always remember, if you're going to do the same thing right here, you have to make sure that your risk is managed. Do not risk money you can lose and cry later. Don't do that. Don't risk what you're going to cry later about. Only risk what you're okay to lose.
As in full margin.
Yeah, as in full margin. All right, we got 2 minutes left. So my buy stop is going to go right over here. All right, it's right above this 30-minute candle right here. And sell stop is going to go right below this 30-minute candle. All right.
Gonna have this the sell stop because I trust you, Raja. Other than that, no, man.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. See what happens.
Yeah, my stop loss makes sense. My buy stop makes sense.
Where's your buy stop?
1820.
Oh, 1820.
1823.
All right, let me bring it down here. All right, there's no stop loss. I have my finger on this close full button on magic keys. Oh, it's coming down.
If the sell stop get activated, I'll be closing really quick. I'll be happy if I get 20 pips on this move.
Yeah, me
Then
too.
the buy stop is gonna be the long-term play.
All right. You've been smoking gas today? No, I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. Sorry. Okay, so we got 30 seconds left. The spreads are 4 pips. Damn.
Damn, Daniel.
Damn, Daniel.
You got balls, man.
It's something I'm okay to lose. That's all what it is. All right, we got 10 seconds left. Let's see what happens. Do both get activated? Oh, here we go. Oh, did buy get activated?
There you go. Now we're in really big issues over here.
What happened to my buy stop? Oh, nothing got activated. Oh,
Yes. Might get activated. The spreads, you know.
damn! Nothing got activated. It was too big of a lot size. Oh shit, man!
Oh damn.
Would have been easy 30 pips over here. Oh,
Yeah.
No way. But congratulations to whoever got the buy stops. You know, you guys won. Beautiful, beautiful. Nice, nice, nice.
I mean, the spread opened really wide, so I'm
Wow.
on 25 pips in profit right now.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the other position.
Man, nothing got activated. Should have just done one lot over here.
Yeah. Okay. Gucci, 1830 is basically the target. I'm just expecting the current 5-minute candle continue just moving up toward 1830. I'm securing 50% on the last position right now.
Oh,
And I
beautiful.
will bring my stop loss to break even. You never know with gold in the next 2 minutes it's gonna continue pushing, and then before the 5-minute candle can give you a nasty drop. So I'll be securing profits.
Very nice. Congratulations to whoever got these buy stops. Beautiful. There was no slippage. There was no nothing. Look at the spread here. 6 pips, 8 pips. Holy, such big spreads at this point.
Yeah, I got slipped by not much, like 10 pips. Order got activated at 1824.
Okay, that's not bad.
So far 67 pips, that's fine. I mean, this area 1830 is the area that you need to pay attention on. But
Wow, crazy. Very nice. We called it. Look at this, 1833. Oh my God, what a nasty move here.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I was trusting you with the sell stop because I know that gold can easily drop to the 1810 and reject it from there, but the buys made sense.
Wow. For people who are holding sells, oh my God.
100, he's in 100 pips in profit so far. Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful.
Amazing move here.
I'm done for the day, man.
Man, I wish this was a 1 lot. I wish I opened a 1 lot instead of a 2 lot. Because the leverage is lower on gold. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, didn't really lose anything. Didn't really make anything either.
I mean, that's good, man.
Yeah, that's good. It's not too bad.
Think about like this, man. You just help us.
Exactly.
Exactly, man.
So whoever came to the casino today, congratulations, you won in the casino today. Let's see what GJ did. Oh, GJ went down. Oh, wow. This USD JPY also went down.
Remember that liquidity. We said it. That liquidity on the UJ.
Yep. Holy, look at this jobs data over here. Super low. This is a disaster. This is a disaster. And yeah, Kervin, you're right. This was probably liquidity grab to continue.
Yeah. UJ was pushing up before the news around 8 a.m., 8:15, or before 8 a.m. Was basically grabbing liquidity. Probably, I don't know where the price is right now on UJ, but most likely can easily hit the 108 500.
Yeah.
Hey, Raja.
Hey.
I just made it home to get that 45 pips.
Oh, nice. On gold?
Yeah, I just did it.
Congratulations.
$47.
Oh, nice. Beautiful, bro. That's amazing.
That was pretty good. Just in time. I was just making it home. Like, my car is right there.
Yeah, you're like, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I got 5 minutes. No, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Have a good one, man.
Take care. Take
Don't
care.
spend it all at once.
Yeah, don't spend it all at once.
I'm not. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good one.
All right, have a good weekend. There's no stream available that does what we do. You know, I showed you the live account all the time. I tried to, I mean, it is what it is, you know, but I'm happy that people got this move and made money today. Oh, wow. This thing is still going here. Where are we at? Approaching 1836. Curvanito, Hornito, man. Gold is going up.
Yeah, man. Let it ride. It's fun. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. So for people in the gulag, you guys got this trade. Give a like on the stream, because when you give a like on the stream, a lot of other people, they come to know about the stream. You know, it's free education, free knowledge, free money, fun and games. You know, like we have fun here. We have fun. Like Mayweather says, we're here to entertain and we're here to have fun. You know, if you make money along the way, you know, that's perfect.
You know, I'm surprised that there are like 4,000 people and we don't have even 2,000 likes. At least the 50%.
No, you know what, bro? If these were paid streams, then we would get 2,000 likes. Trust me. If we charge people for like $50 a month, $150 a month, we would get likes. But they're free, man. No one gives a shit about free streams. Oh, nice. We're at 1,000 right now. Gold is pumping beyond 1836.
Hey Raja, just cap the stream couple days and then they will realize what your value is.
Let's get to the likes to the price of gold, 1836. If we can get the likes to 1836, 1835, I think I'm going to be happy today.
I'm pretty sure we can go to the 2,000 likes. Trust me on this. There's a lot of Latinos in there.
Kerwin's gold position must be booming right now.
Yeah.
From 300 pips probably.
No. This one, the last position, because I took it in the other account, the last position is basically 100 pips.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 100 pips.
What's this over here? Why did your position did not enter? Because I forget the leverage is 100 to 1 on gold, and I should have used a 1 lot instead of a 2 lot, and then it would have been activated and would have made a cool, like, you know, $500, $400.
I think that the pip counter of Kerwin, it looks like a phone number for gold.
Wait, what? What phone number?
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, I missed that too. I got the 500 account. I made $18. Oh, nice, beautiful. Imagine keeping a runner from yesterday. Well, I think some people are keeping sells from yesterday on gold.
No, man, don't say that.
Man, this gold came like a train. Boom! Gold came, boom. Gold stopped, and then NFP went and boom. Yeah. It's like, you know, in Street Fighter. Oh, you can. That's what gold did. Gold came up yesterday right here, and then with NFP went, oh, you can. Straight up.
Oh, I wonder why.
You think that guy's still holding from 1690 from 2 weeks ago?
I think he went in buys. Should have went in buys. Could you explain that impulse on gold? Yeah, so basically had my buy stop at above the previous 30-minute candle, because if we broke above the high of the 30-minute candle, then there was high probability for price to continue moving bullish, and that's basically what was the whole idea. And you can see here we moved, holy, 140 pips. Yeah, it never got activated. Look, this was a fresh deposit 2 days ago. Never got activated. Let's go to my main account here. See, 139 still intact. Every day I wake up, I look at it, I'm like, oh, is it less? Is it more? You know, in IC markets, when I ran up my account, I would look at that every morning just to make sure it's all there. Because at times it was unbelievable. I'm like, oh shit, is it still there? Wow, GJ is continuing down over here too. UJ is still dying over here. Your JPY did a retracement. Will gold gonna drop to correction later? Bro, if you're in sells, stop thinking about corrections. I mean, you look at the numbers. What the fuck is there to correct? Look at these numbers over here. The NFP just shit the bed. There's no correction happening after this. I mean, it's another thing if, you know, Yellen comes out and says something out of the ordinary which may drop gold, but other than that, I don't think a correction is gonna happen. Let's take a look at USD CAD here. Oh, wow, USD CAD just retraced all the way. No, man, I'm not in sales. Oh, okay. Because usually, usually guys who are in sales, they ask those things, right? Hey, will we see a correction? Will gold come down? You know. Hey, good morning, Raja. With your trading profits, how do you deposit them into the bank? Did you have to open a business account? It depends on you. You know, I have a business account, so like, you know, all the deposits go over there. I mean, the withdrawals go over there, and then, you know, you have expenses like commissions and losses are also your expenses. So you got to talk to your accountant how to set that up. But yeah, I think this was a very, very good session. We had Jeevan earlier on dropping some nuggets. We had some solid gold buys here with like, you know, buy stops worked really, really good. A bunch of people made some free money today. We're still at 1674 likes here on the YouTube stream, which is pretty sad, but whatever. Yeah.
That's what I mean when I said it's really easy. I love buying gold because if this was a sell on gold already probably in the first 5 minutes breaks outside a structure, give you a long, heavy drop, and then all of a sudden, the next 5 minutes, it retraces all the way back up. And see how this candle is just pumping and pumping, man. It's insane. That's why gold is so beautiful to buy.
Yeah.
I mean, but you need to know what you're doing, to be honest.
Roger.
Yes.
So I'm looking at GJ. Just a question. So do you think after the next 30 minutes could possibly break through the zone and keep pushing down, or is it just gonna be gonna stay in the range?
Yeah, I mean, it's approaching a pretty strong support over here.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, if we break this, then we can go down, but we have to see how it's going to react at this point.
Okay.
Someone's asking for gold target. Gold target is like around, we got 1844 here on the daily time frame, and I don't know if we're going to tap that here today or not. Now, looking on the 4-hour time frame, we're approaching this area here, 1836. If we break above this area, you can see what happened previously here on gold, right? When price was between 1818, we talked about how it can go towards the top. It broke this top, and now it's coming into the same scenario on the 4-hour above 1836. So I think if we stay above 1836, there's a potential to go to 43, 44, you know, but if you're looking for the move, I think the move is already done. This is the continuation of the move at this point. Just crazy. It's like exactly the same thing happened yesterday, but this happened with the news. Safe to say everyone should be done for the week right now. Yes, everyone should be done for the week right now. I advise you to change your password, man, because cracking an 8-character password would be easy if a person really wants to do it. You accidentally leaked your login too. That's okay. I'm probably gonna change it anyway. Like, trust me, I know the Gulag. Gulag sent me a DDoS attack one day, so I've learned from that.
Gulag's gonna forever take.
Gulag's gonna take what they want to take, so now I'm very careful. Ooh, 9.7% today. Nice.
Especially when they don't leave a like on your streams that you give daily.
Yeah, they leave dislikes, which is also pretty good. You know, YouTube sees that as interaction. Damn, Daniel. Do we still leave the sell stop or we can take it out? Yeah, man. Thing is like 140 pips away.
Literally 144 from my entry though. Look at this thing right here. It's 100 and whatever.
Oh, nice. 140 pips right now.
The other one, I was looking for the other account, but the other account, the take profit that I had was 1837, so it closed the position. So yeah, the other one closed like 350 pips in profits.
Oh, this is a questionnaire. If you didn't have kids or weren't married and could choose when to trade for 3 hours a day, what time would you choose? To be honest, before I had kids, I chose this time to trade what I have right now. 6:30 to like 9. And even though I have kids right now, they know my boundaries. I mean, they know their boundaries. They know when it's time for me to work. So there's a level of there's an understanding I have with my 3-year-old that this is the time. So you got to create those understandings with them. Thanks for the hint. God bless you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was an amazing. I showed my terminal. I showed where my buy stops were, where my sell stops were. Sadly, they didn't get activated because I think the lot size were too big for the leverage I have. But for the people who did profit from that, I mean, amazing. Beautiful day here today. Any advice or words for encouragement for going through a losing streak, not over trading or over leveraging, just losing a lot lately after coming off of a win? I think I say this every day and I'm going to say it again. Go over your losses, right? Go over the losses and ask yourself why. Why did this loss happen? Why did price move the other way? What could you have done differently? What could you have seen the opposite thing? How could you have taken the opposite trade? And to be honest, 80% of the time, there's going to be a very logical reasoning of why price moved the opposite way. And then you're going to make notes about it. Because like those things are going to happen all the time. They'll happen next week after that, next month, so, and when it happens later, you're going to be ready for that. After ending the week negative, should I go back to my same lot size or go back to the previous lot? I will say this again, go over the losses, see what happened, Had a rocky week, so I wanted to stay disciplined and not gamble. Happy with the discipline. Oh, nice, beautiful. Someone is saying GJ sells, question mark. GJ sells already happened, so now you got to wait for price to either break below 151.350 or retrace to continue moving down. Man, I really think this is going to tap into 1843, Kervin. Very likely. Why do you now show your full terminal and not before? Just curious, because I'm a partner in that platform, and obviously I want to promote the platform I'm on. So that's one of the reasons.
Yes, and to your question, that's 1843. Yes, Raja. I was mute, so I was talking to myself. And yes, and I was saying the beauty of gold is that now has this momentum. So every time that gold retraces and create lower time frame structure based on 5 minutes, I will say, then you have potential moves to the upside. We have 1843, 1845, I will say, and I'm not thinking that we're gonna tap 1850 today, but there's a potential target to the 1850 most likely for Monday. If we can get there, it would be really nice before any rejection. At this point, I'm not expecting any rejection from this level, from the 1830s. I'll be looking for more buys next week, because for gold to take sells, gold will need to give me some sort of structure on the 4 hour before taking any sell. So far it's good. 151 pips and counting. Beautiful Friday though. Hopefully nobody's trying to sell gold. Well. Bro, look at the size of that weekly candle, man.
Weekly candle. I'm just looking at this 5-minute right here.
Oh, you're looking for a last minute push?
Last move towards 1843.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's take a look at this weekly candle. Yeah, there we go. Wow, crazy. It's absolutely insane. This is the area we're looking to tap into the daily. 1843, 1844. Sir, what do you think about USDJPY for a potential support now? Seems pretty tricky here. Let's take a look to the left-hand side. We're approaching a support around 108,430, but I wouldn't recommend to buy right here. I wouldn't recommend to buy at this point. It's going to be very tricky. Why did you buy the gold yesterday? I've explained it yesterday. I explained it in the stream yesterday, why we bought gold. Okay, let's see here. Oh, wow, crazy.
Yes, feels some use. Okay, go, come on. Yeah. Okay, another 20 pips. Bonzo.
Nice one.
Secure it. Did you secure?
Yeah.
1843, yes.
1843 on the dot.
Yes, beautiful.
Okay, let's see here.
That was a 3-minute trade, right?
That was basically 2.5-minute trade. Because this is the exact same thing that happened yesterday as well, you know?
Yep. See, I'll say anything because I know people in the gulag, they're gonna be like trying to buy right now, and it can be dangerous.
Oh, very dangerous.
Yes.
Buying right now is like buying at the very, very top.
Yes, exactly that. But at the break of the previous 1-minute candle is gonna be another push to 1845 or 1846.
Oh, 1 minute.
Dangerous. Yeah, I mean the structure on 1 minute's looking Gucci, but you know, I'm done. There's only 6 minutes for the 4-hour candle to close, so you're expecting the next 4 hours it's just gonna continue. The problem is you don't know if we're gonna get a pullback toward 1837 before the continuation, but makes sense. The new 4-hour candle just continue moving though. You probably are not gonna see a heavy retracement until NYSE open or continuation though.
Wow, tapped right into 1843.
Yes, that's for Cowboys though.
Ooh, UJ will continue moving down here. USD CAD is also coming down. Let's see what's happening to GJ. Pound, yen. Oh, wow, still down. Potential sells on gold? I don't think so, buddy. That would be very devastating at this point. I mean, you may get like 20, 30 pips coming to, but like, I don't know. It's just no confirmation. You've missed the buys. The buys were here. You missed it. This move here was very, very simple here because this happened exactly on the 4 hour. Let's look to the left over here. Right here, right? First was right here when price moved from the bottom to the top of this 4 hour consolidation. Second was right here when we moved from the bottom to the top of this consolidation, 1843. Can we expect Gigi to continue down? I would maybe expect people to just close their charts and call it a week. That's going to be better. But I'm going to head off, everybody. Take care. Hopefully everyone stays safe for the rest of Friday.
Thank you, Raj.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Whoever got the buys with the buy stops in gold, man, just thank the trade gods that you got that trade.
Yeah, thank God. Literally,
Nice.
yes, man.
All right.
Thank you, Raja.
Yeah, you're welcome,
Team,
everybody.
Thank you. As
Thank
always,
you.
it's been a
Thank you,
pleasure.
Take care. Adios.
Adios.
Yes, Khudafiz. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Adios.
Have a
Adios.
nice weekend.
You too. You too.
Tchau do Brasil.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.